Good evening. I'm Jake Schrantz, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Nebraska head football coach Matt Rhule spoke to the media after the Huskers' second loss of the season. One major point he talked about was what it takes as a coach of a smaller school to upset a Power 5 opponent like Nebraska, and what he is telling his team to avoid getting burned by Northern Illinois on Saturday.
The scariest thing in the world is a team or a man that has nothing to lose. And right now we're playing sometimes as a team like we have everything to lose because they want to win so badly. And afraid to lose is afraid to win. Okay, the owner of the last team that I worked for, that's one thing that David Tepper taught me. He tell me all the time, afraid to lose is afraid to win. And it's a message I'll carry forward in my life. You know.
We'll hear some more from Coach Rhule later on in the show. The start time for this weekend's Huskers football game against Louisiana Tech was announced today as the Huskers will open a 3-game homestand at 2:30 Central Time. The game will be televised on Big Ten Network as nearly 90,000 strong will take in the first home regular season game of the Matt Rhule era here at Nebraska. In Nebraska volleyball news, the 4th-ranked Huskers will face off with Stanford tomorrow night on ESPN. It is sure to be an entertaining match as Big Red tries to hand the 5th-ranked Stanford Cardinal, led by Aaliyah Rubin and Kendall Kipp, their second loss of the season after losing to Florida on August 29th. The Huskers haven't beaten Stanford since 2008 and are looking to end their 5-game losing streak against them tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can tune into that match and every match this season right here on the Huskers Radio Network. The Buffalo Bills and New York Jets are just about to start their first game of the season in an entertaining Week 1 in the NFL. The regular season debut of Aaron Rodgers in New York Jets green will be on display as his team takes on Josh Allen and the reigning AFC East champions in East Rutherford tonight. The weather at the game has forced players and personnel off the field during pregame, so it should be interesting to start the season. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Up next, 2 hours of Husker Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
3 eligible left, 1 to the near side. Now it's an empty set as Ramir sprints left. Back to throw, Jeff, quarterback draw. He's at a 45, got room, 50, he might go, 40, down the sideline, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Nebraska!
Becca Williams, Spring Lake, Texas serves back right. Nice pass, quick attack. Becca, Alec, Big Red, kaboom!
Kaliak Manis, back to throw on a play action. Looking to take a shot, throws it downfield. Pass is intercepted, I think. Picked off, Huskers intercept one at the 11-yard line. It's Omar Brown stepping in front of it. Back home to Minneapolis for Omar Brown, and he has a pick.
Liz Grigorski, former Wisconsin Badger, line drive serve, good pass. Rodriguez the slide. Wow! Andy Jackson, kaboom! And that draws some oohs and ahs.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And we're back. Another week of sports on. I hope you had a nice weekend. It was another tough Saturday for the Big Red, coming up short out in Boulder, and you kind of spoiled a really nice defensive effort by the Cornhuskers, who had 8 sacks, 11 tackles for the loss. And you had a 13-7 game with about 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. And then it just got away from Nebraska because, one, the offense really couldn't sustain drives, and they were turning the ball over again. It's almost, we could almost replay, Jessica, the show on Labor Day after the Minnesota game.
I mean, turnovers. You said you spoil a great defensive effort. Again, it was a defensive effort was spoiled. And you can't, you saw the difference, right? So here comes this team, and we hear all week about how great this prolific Colorado offense is. And the defense comes out, and they're playing with their hair on fire. They're slowing them down. They're frustrated. I mean, you could see how frustrated that Colorado offense was. They were mad at each other. They were yelling at each other. I mean, there were so many. The offensive linemen were so frustrated with what the Nebraska front was doing. They had their numbers, but at some point, when you keep giving them the ball, you lose that, right? And I saw a switch from the team, and I mean, I think everybody did when you just get to a point where what else can we do if the offense isn't, if you're not going to play complementary football and you're going to keep giving them the ball? There's just not much that a defense can do if you keep giving them the ball, because that offense is going to get going. And that was one of the big keys, right, that we talked about all week, is slowing down the game and not giving that offense extra opportunities. And they ended up getting extra opportunities and on their side of the field from their 30, or in their red zone. And so that just does not set up well for success.
It's kind of laughable that it was 13-0 at the half.
And
as well as Nebraska played, it really should have probably been a 3-0 Nebraska game at half.
Yeah, and you felt good about how the Huskers had played, and even had some drives, and that's what I asked Coach Rhule too. I guess the one thing that you can challenge the defense on is to get takeaways, right? I mean, and yes, the offense has to protect the football, but also that was one thing that Coach Rhule told me at half is, we're getting good pressure. We're doing lots of good things, but we got to somehow find a way to generate some takeaways. But in that first half, they had some good drives, and then you had a couple bad snaps that just completely derailed the offense. And so you felt like you had some things going, and had Nebraska played the kind of game that they wanted to play, that score I think looks pretty different. If they would have been able to sustain and do more of what they did in the first half and the second half, and then not turn it over and try to figure out a way to put some points on the board.
Even it's a scoreless game and Nebraska's driving, and then that goofy snap that hits Lindenmeyer in the hip. Thank goodness Nebraska jumped on it, but then Tristan misses the field goal. Even that wasn't a turnover, but the ball's on the ground because of poor execution by the offense. Who knows? If they execute that play, they might have got a first down and kept driving and scored a touchdown. But it's 0-0, and then poor execution, and then you miss the field goal, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, it still halted a drive that was a positive drive. And it was loud down there. It was loud in that end zone, and that's what Coach Rhule had said at halftime, is that the noise, some miscommunication, some cues there that they thought that they had figured out, but that definitely stalled a drive, and then you back up, and then we get a penalty too on that drive that ended up backing up the field goal even more.
So we had the kid gets injured. Huskers have second and Ramir goes 6 yards to the 24-yard line on first down. So now you have 2nd and 4. Then they have an injury. It's halts play for a second. Gabe gets a yard on 2nd down. And then the snap that hits Luke Lindenmeyer and falls down to lead to trip. So no penalties within that. But really, snapping the ball and hitting the guy where he's not expecting it, that's like you said, it halted the drive. Yeah,
I mean, it was a positive drive, and then
it's a 9-play drive.
You get out of that rhythm, and Searles talked about this too on the broadcast, and it was when we were going through warm-ups. I mean, that crowd was pretty rowdy, but the way that the Nebraska offense, they silenced them at the beginning, because they're like, whoa, this is not what this is supposed to be. They had that long drive. They stopped them a couple times. I mean, we had said that this team needed to take that crowd out of it and get some momentum, and they did that. And a lot of that was by that slow, methodical drive and keeping the ball away from the Colorado offense. That's what needed to happen more. And it just, when you turn it over, you just don't get that opportunity, and you're just going to give that an opportunity for that offense to get going.
So the Huskers' second turnover, Colorado gets it at the Nebraska 30-yard line, but the defense goes 3 and out. They have to kick the field goal. They make it, a 31-yarder, and so it's 3-0. Then the pick, and then they go right for the shot for the end zone. They get it. It's now 10-0, and you're like, gah. It's like 2 minutes off the clock, and it's 10-0. And then Jeff Sims, scrambling, gets bumped out of bounds, which allowed Colorado to save a timeout. And you think about how that half ended, 1 second left to get the field goal to make it 13-0.
Yeah.
Crazy.
There's just so many mistakes and mental errors that you were hoping was going to get fixed. And like Coach Rhule said in his press conference today, about sometimes it's like this they're trying too hard to win and they're scared to lose, and it's just that's not a good recipe either. And you can kind of see that a little bit. And then when you're not building the confidence, the defense, the confidence was there up until it wasn't in the second half. But you saw a little bit, I thought, a little bit of panic, a little bit of frustration out of the offense. And
how could there not?
Yeah, and you've got to get through that. You got to work through that, and you can't let you cannot keep letting bad plays or bad drives affect the next one. Okay, you did something bad here, you got to let it go and move on. But it's almost like they're letting mistakes compile and just add up as opposed to moving past. Okay, look, you're not going to play a perfect football game. There's going to be mistakes, and mistakes can be handled, but you can't let it just build and build and build and let that mistake kick you in the butt twice or three times. You've got to be able to move forward. And I just they need to find some rhythm and get it going, but there was none of that after the mistakes that just completely derailed a couple of those good drives.
I will say Shedeur Sanders is really good.
Yeah,
he's very good. I mean, this is probably it. He'll probably go pro after this year. That's a good quarterback. I don't know that we'll see a guy that's better than that. J.J. McCarthy's a different kind of a quarterback, but that's a good player. He's a good player.
He's a good player, and yet Nebraska defense had him rattled in the first. But a good player works through it and he made some fantastic plays. He is a great quarterback.
Yeah.
But all that being said, the Nebraska defense had him pretty frustrated there in that first half, and they were getting some pressure on him, and those wide receivers were really angry. They're good, but they were frustrated.
Yeah.
So the fact that you couldn't take advantage of them. And a good offense is going to work through some of that, and that's where you've got to be able to score. And if you're going to go up against an offense like that and let them get going, but I don't know. It's he definitely was impressive. I didn't like his comments after the game.
No, this is all bogus.
I mean, they were going to the middle of the field to pray, and they did that last week. There wasn't an issue at Minnesota. I'm pretty sure Coach Rhule did that with Baylor's teams. I'm almost certain, I'm 90% certain they came at Oklahoma and went to the middle of the field and prayed, and nobody at OU had a problem with them being. A lot of teams do that.
Exactly.
And they're praying, and that's what Coach Rhule said, that they invited him in to pray. They weren't being disrespectful. I mean, we saw them walk in there. They pray over the field and then they move. I did not like those comments. I didn't think that was worthy of him, and I would hope that he, as good as he is, would maybe rein in some of his post-game comments a little bit in that regard, because that wasn't right. I didn't think that was a good look for him to throw the Huskers under the bus like that.
All right, folks, love to hear from you. 402-413-2400. That is our Woodhouse Auto Family hotline. Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenient sales, and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Let's start up in Omaha. Doc or Rock, you're going to lead us off tonight. Good evening.
Go Big Red. How you guys doing tonight?
Hanging in there.
Well, we are. That's for sure. Props to the defense. Big time. I think it was in the first half we had Colorado punting 4 times. I think they said that they didn't punt 4 times in the whole TCU game. Getting after the quarterback, sacking the quarterback, hurries, just tremendous defense. And one thing's for sure, I'm not going to talk about the obvious, which is what you and Jessica have already alluded to as far as turnovers and whatnot. I want to talk about penalties. I probably saw more boneheaded penalties this last game. I mean, you shove a guy for no reason. I know that you're trying to, protect your quarterback, whatever after a play. And I think there were several unsportsmanlike conducts, personal fouls, sideline warnings, what have you. And I think there was one penalty where they were going to punt, and we might have had a false start and gave them a first down just from that. And I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not hearing a lot of talk about penalties, just kind of really glossing over it. But I think it's something we really got to examine. I mean, if this had happened under Osborne, some of these penalties, these 15-yarders, these are, in my book, these are as bad as turnovers, especially in certain situations where you're given automatic first downs on 3rd down or on 4th down. One last thing, and then I want to listen to your comments off air. Our punter got creamed, and there wasn't a hint of a flag thrown. The announcers, I don't even think, said anything. Am I seeing things?
No, and Doc, appreciate the phone call. No, yeah, thanks for the phone call. No, in fact, the official said that the guy was blocked into Brian Buschini. We saw replays. He wasn't. Cam Lenhart was near him, but did not push his arms and push the kid. They missed out. 6 penalties for 40 yards, Doc. You're right, though. They seem to come at odd times. We did jump off sides that gave them a first down. I disputed that. I think it should have been 4th and inches, because it looked to me like it was 4th and about 5.5, but they gave him the first down. The one on Teddy Prohaska, you had a pretty good view of that. That was on the sidelines.
It would have been more made sense more for him to throw the flag on me than Teddy. I mean, I didn't see. And I said this on the broadcast because I was literally standing right there, and the Hunter comes over into the Huskers bench. John a little bit was kind of nodding his head, and I think because it is a tight sideline, and Teddy kind of just pushed him out. And to me, I took it as, hey, get out of here before you cause something, because when that happens, a lot of times you can see some not so good things happen. I took it as like hey, get out of here before something escalates here. And then the ref comes over, and I'm like, there's no way he could have seen what happened on that play, and throws the flag. And I thought that flag was coming for Hunter. I really did, because he was the one that came into the bench, was kind of nodding his head, and then I was shocked when it was on Teddy. Teddy was shocked. The whole bench was shocked that it was on the Nebraska. So I don't know. I thought that one was very, very questionable.
Yeah, Jeremiah and I both kind of went off on that. Actually, Doc, I mean, Colorado had 9 penalties for 80 yards. We had 6 for 40, so they had 3 more penalties on them than us. The offsides on the defense, that's a tough one, because it did give them an automatic first down. Let's head down to Beatrice and Dennis. Good evening, Dennis. You're on Sports Nightly.
Yeah. Hey, the other guy answered my call, or answered the question about the punter. My question is, I think everybody's seen the same game I'm seeing. Don't you think there was a lot of holding going on the Colorado side? I know we probably did our some, but it seemed like there was so much holding on that Sanders had so much time. It was unbelievable. And then my second question is, I'm not sure it was in the third quarter, that when Sanders threw his ball to the right to that receiver, I thought he made one step and he's ready to go, and then the ball popped out. What happened after that? So I'll let you guys take a hint on that one.
All right, Dennis, appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call. Yeah, they probably missed a couple of holds in that game. Still, Nebraska got home a bunch. I mean, you get 8 sacks, you're getting home a lot. Did they miss a couple? Probably. Yeah, they probably did. But I didn't think the officials did a horrible job in this game. I hated the call on Teddy. Probably should have been at least a running into the kicker on Brian Buschini, but I don't think they missed a ton of other ones.
No, I mean, I don't think it was completely game-changing. I mean, there were also a couple big plays that the Huskers gave up that, the one play with Tommy Hill, which he was devastated about. There was a drop pass by Alex Bullock. There were a few plays that could have completely changed that the officiating had nothing to do with. And, I'm not one to sit here. Are there times that, you get mad about a call here or there, but they're going to miss a few calls. But, I didn't think it was too awful. They didn't seem to be. There were a couple times that maybe there was some conversations being had between the coaching staff, Coach Rhule, and the officials. But for the most part, they didn't seem like they were really mad the whole time about missed calls.
Yeah. Jim in Columbus on our text line. Well, I can pretty much say what your show is going to be about tonight with good reason. Quarterback Sims and Coach Rhule. So I'll give my thoughts. Sims has been so erratic these last 2 games, and myself, I say let him start this Saturday. If he does the same thing in the first quarter, Coach Rhule has to change quarterbacks, even if it's just for the time being, but it has to be done. I guess that'll probably be determined, too, on Jeff's health. Can he practice this week? He did get that ankle rolled up. Coach Rhule said today it's too early to tell on that, so maybe Heinrich Hoiberg or Chubba Purdy starting Saturday night anyway. But I do think you got to you can't keep turning the ball over. You just can't do that, and I think Coach did say that today.
Coach said it today. He said it after the game. Like, the turnovers have got to get fixed, and he's going to take a closer look at it. And what that course of action is yet to be determined. But they probably felt like, okay, after 1 game, not ready to do anything drastic. But after 2 games, and at least they were, I don't know if this is a bright side or not, but it was different kinds of turnovers. Yes, he threw an interception, but the snaps and the that I don't know what was going on there. That didn't seem to be an issue in game one. And so I don't know why it went from, I mean, yes, there were 3 picks in the first game and then the fumble from Anthony Grant, but there was one interception that was, pretty costly. But I didn't think we saw many snap issues.
We didn't.
And I don't know if the crowd had much to do with that or what, but to me, it's like at least it was not just throwing multiple interceptions. Like at least it was a different kind of interception. Or I don't even know if that's not a good take on a positive, because you never want turnovers, but they're not going to make that call, I don't think, after one game. And so now you see it again and you address it. But we'll see what the health looks like. He came off, they retaped the ankle, he jumped up and down, looked like he was ready to go, ran out there, they pulled him back off. So I don't know what that ankle looks like going into this week. If it's a high ankle sprain, sometimes that lingers and you don't want to push it. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are some opportunities for those other quarterbacks, which we'd like to see. We'd like to see what they could do. I mean, at this point, want to see what, if the opportunity arises again, that another quarterback could be called upon to see if this offense can go.
Learn how you can earn up to $250 more per acre when you grow value-added grain by visiting cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. Jim in North Platte, Dwayne in Texas. Hang on, we need to get a break. We're back to take your calls next.
Hey, Husker fans, Alumni Hall is your ultimate Husker shopping experience. The best and largest selection of apparel for the whole family. Adidas, Champion, Columbia, plus gifts, accessories, and all of your tailgating needs. UNL students, faculty, and military always receive a 10% off in-store, and you can earn cash back with Hall Pass rewards. Shop their downtown Lincoln or South Point Pavilion locations or anytime at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Husker fans shop.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Every day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed a hungry planet. Partner with a team who knows the entire roadmap, equipped with local expertise and proven products. Get your seed recommendations with CVA's Go Early Seed program. Register to win $7,000 off a seed box purchase when you visit cvacoop.com. There's room at the table. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Visit Woodhouse Mazda during the Season of Discovery sales event and explore the entire lineup of award-winning Mazda sedans and CUVs, like the Swift and Sporty Mazda CX-30. Get a $500 rebate on a Carbon Edition Mazda CX-30, or take advantage of 2.9% APR for 36 months or 4.9% for 60 months. This is Woodhouse Mazda. When financed with Mazda Financial with approved credit, tax, title, license extra, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 7/31/2023. See dealer for details.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals and will share information with them to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. You can trust Innovation Refunds with your small business's ERC claim because of their SOC 2 Type 1 security compliance. Without this, how can you be sure a company can protect your information? It's not like here on the radio, where all you need to be secure is a censor button. My password to my bank account is Ty's cool password 1. Uh-oh. Luckily, Innovation Refunds is more reliable. Go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS to get started.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates may apply and may vary by carrier.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Hey, congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you on a Monday night post-Colorado game. 402-413-2400, the number to dial up a comment or question. Or if you want to fire off a text, you can do that as well. Let's go to West Point. Pete, you're up next. Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
Good. Thanks.
I guess what's really bothering me is after the first drop ball, he tried to pick it up. That cost us. But when he did it the second time, he tried to pick it up again. So either the coaching is not happening during the game, or he's not mentally picking up good football practices. And he's had a habit for 2-3 years. He's got a lot of talent, and I don't know if you can get him mentally prepared for Division I football in this league. I don't know. But right now, instead of being an asset to help win, he's kind of been the opposite, and that can't go on. The coach just can't allow that.
Pete, appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for the call. Yeah, Coach Rhule talked today about Ron Brown has worked him into kind of a dive on the football type of drill. When the ball's loose, go get it. And like he said, there was a couple times after the very first one, which was a shotgun snap that hit Jeff right in the hands and fell down. Nobody dove on the football. You got to go get it.
Yeah, that I think was a frustration that we saw a lot of. And I don't know. That's what we were. I don't know if Coach Rhule was asked about this. I didn't listen to the whole press conference, but I know that was something that they were going to go back and see what the problem, what the snaps were, because I know Jeff is getting a lot of the blame, but it's
some of the jet motion.
It very well, because I know that there were a couple times that after one of them that there was a lot of conversation, and I said this to you guys in the break and then on the broadcast about there was a lot of conversation with the running backs, and so I think there was a lot of just they weren't in a great rhythm, and maybe some miscommunication going on that it very well could have been on other people involved in the play call. I don't know. That's what I was, I'm not sure if that was addressed, if they went back and determined what that was on, but I think there was a lot of miscommunication. Just didn't seem like a lot of people were on the same page to start, and maybe the crowd had something to do with it to start. I don't know, but I'm not saying it was all on Jeff, but the one thing is when that ball's on the ground, somebody get to it.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Down to Austin, Texas. Dwayne, you're up next on Sports Nightly.
Hey, good night. I was calling because I noticed something, that Alabama and Nebraska have four things in common. They basically got one athletic quarterback that is starting, that can't get snaps and can't read defenses, with two backup guys that don't have the same skills as him. So you basically got three different QBs, three different types. And the Alabama team has a horrible offensive coordinator because he didn't fit the offense to meet the talent of the QB that he had playing, because that was basically a J.T. Barrett, a Urban Meyer power spread quarterback that they tried to run Bryce Young passing QB plays with. And I think that's kind of what's going on in Nebraska, that Nebraska doesn't have three similar type QBs where they can risk the starter Sims running what do they call those plays? The zone read,
Yep.
the inverted veer, the QB counter, the QB power, and actually run a power spread offense playbook, because the other quarterbacks can't do those things. Because you remember Ohio State, when they won the first playoff, they had three similar type quarterbacks. They had, Miller, who got hurt in the preseason. Then they had J.T. Barrett. He got hurt against Michigan. And then they had Cardale Jones to come in. But they could all run that offense because they had all been recruited to run that type of offense. And I think what you see at Nebraska, like Alabama, is they just got three different type of QBs that can't execute the offense, and they're just throwing the most athletic guy in there. And they're too scared to let him loose because the guys behind him can't run those plays. And so the offense is basically playing with 10 guys against a 11-man defense.
Dwayne, appreciate it. I would disagree. I think Heinrich Hoiberg is athletic, maybe even pretty close to the same athlete as Jeff Sims. I think he can absolutely run this. I think Heinrich's passing ability is the question mark, even though he's got a big arm. But we haven't seen enough of him to know that. I can't speak to Alabama. I have charter cable, so I didn't get to watch them. Texas whipped them the other night, so I can't speak to Alabama. But I think Heinrich is about as good an athlete as Jeff Sims.
Yeah, and we've heard that. We've seen it. I mean, there were rumblings that maybe he could even move to tight end. We saw him dunk a basketball. There's no question he is one of the most, and I've heard that from multiple players on the team, he's one of the most athletic guys on the team.
That's why they had him a wide receiver for game
so
play.
he can do things with his feet that match Jeff. But, to his point about having a quarterbacks that can back up quarterbacks that can run the offense, I mean, I saw that with Lincoln Riley when I worked at Oklahoma, and I think he does that. He does get quarterbacks that if this is the offense we're going to run, and yes, you tailor it. You have some tweaks and tailor it to a quarterback that's a starter, but you also have a quarterback that could step in and run an offense and not miss a beat. And, typically that is what you'd like to have, right? You'd like to have a quarterback that could step in and you don't have to do too much changing around.
And this staff, it's his first year, so they haven't really been able to stockpile what they want in the room at that position because it's their first year. Nick Saban, that's not the case. He's been there, 20 years. Ken on our text line said, was Grant hurt or held out from fumbles? It was a coach's decision not to play Anthony Grant on Saturday. Let's go to Columbus. Hunter, you're up next here on Sports Nightly. Good evening.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good. No, I want to pray for what they're doing really well. I mean, if you look, we're at the top of the list in college football in sacks defense.
Yep.
As far as the Jeff Sims and turnovers, I don't think all that has to do with him. If you look at the snaps all throughout the Colorado game, I was there. They were low to the left. They were all over the place. It's hard to get some consistency and some rhythm as a quarterback if the snaps aren't in a consistently good spot. So that's part of it. So I think that'll help. But the defense looks really good. Clean up some mistakes. I believe we'll win some games and things can get better. So
good. All right, Hunter, appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call. And that's well put, because not everything is on the quarterback. They get too much blame when things go wrong. They probably get too much credit when things go right. But the interceptions Jeff has thrown in the first 2 weeks, those are pretty much on him. Those aren't snaps. That's him. He's got to be better at that. And that first fumble, the replay showed that snap was right where it needed to be. He just took his eye off the ball, I guess, and dropped it.
Yeah, but he was saying that maybe multiple times throughout. I don't have a good view of that from the sideline, that maybe even just the snaps that he did get were a little bit off. I don't know. I can't speak to that. I'm not sure if what
I thought some of the snaps that were bad were on the punts.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the Brian Buschini had to go find the ball a couple times. And that's the long snapper. That's a different guy than Ben Scott on the offensive side. Let's head to North Platte. Jim, you're up next here on Sports Nightly. Good evening.
Yes, good evening to you both. This is what I honestly feel. Until Nebraska gets an offensive line that blew that hole open for a quarterback to go 60, 70 yards, and I will give Nebraska's defense credit the first half. They did a wonderful job. Here's my main part. You got to realize this is our coach's first year. We got a new quarterback. You got to give them 2 or 3 years to recruit what they want. You both have a good evening. Go Big Red.
All right, Jim, appreciate it. Kind of in the old days, I think that's true. In the era of the transfer portal, you can roll your roster over really quick. Nebraska's got 62 new players on this team this year. What did Dion have? 80 new players? So you can the 3 to 5 year thing, that used to be absolutely true, but I think the timeline's been sped up because of the portal now. And
the issue is maybe it will take some time with what this staff wants to do, but you also then, as fans, look around the country and see that USC turned it around pretty quickly. Yep. And you see what Colorado's done, and you see some of these other programs that are able to turn it around a little bit quicker. And then you start saying, well, why can't we do that? But, this is a different staff, and we said it all along. I mean, you got to be patient and let them establish what they want to establish, and we'll see. But, it's definitely not as lengthy of a wait as it used to be.
Right, because of the portal. You can it's kind of the NFL where you can go retool your roster, but still 10 games left to go in the season. Long, long way to go in this season. 402-413-2400. That is our Woodhouse Auto Family hotline. Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. More of your calls coming up.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Discover new ways to purchase your next vehicle at Woodhouse Nissan. Right now, lease the 2023 Nissan Ariya Engage 4-wheel drive for $389 a month for 36 months. Visit us online today. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, 10,000 miles per year, $19.99 down plus first payment, $299 doc fee due at signing. Discount based on sale price of $44,735. Deal includes $1,000 Ariya Engage 4-wheel drive bonus Nissan cash rebate and $1,000 Ariya loyalty bonus cash rebate. VIN number PM407668. Offer expires 7/31/2023. See dealer for details.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we prioritize our customers and promise an honest experience from start to finish. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and experience for yourself why we are Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You are what drives us. Sid Dillon.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. I'm going to show you my steps for making the perfect radio ad. This one's about innovation refunds and the ERC. First step, be relatable. I like pizza and puppies. 2, cold hard info. The ERC is a tax credit for eligible businesses that kept employees on payroll in 2020 and 2021. So if you qualify, Innovation Refunds Network of Independent Tax Attorneys could help you claim it. 3, go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear. 5 reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Huiberg here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on New York equipment. The best warranty in town.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you on a Monday night. Minnie in Phoenix says in regards to the missed snap fumble, why was Colorado there to pick up the ball? Where was the offensive line to hold up? It's going to click. Let them play at home game where the fans are quiet and the offense gets on the field. Let's hope some home cooking changes some things around a little bit. Let's stay in Lincoln. Tyler, you're up next here on Sports Nightly.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I was just calling about when Rhule in the press conference said he didn't even consider pulling Sims. I think that alienated some fans. I mean, he's been killing the pressers, but, I mean, you got to at least consider it. He's turning the ball over, and it makes me think back to Saban pulling Hurts in the national title game with it all on the line, and here we are in game 2 with non-conference opponent, and then to go out and say it's not even a consideration. I just don't like hearing that.
Yeah, Todd, and I've heard that from some other people the last couple of days as well. I think that did kind of bother Husker fans. I just think they feel like Jeff is clearly the best quarterback they have in the program right now.
And I think they just didn't want to pull him, kind of what I said earlier about, you give him a couple games and to see, work through some of the things. And but yeah, at some point, and even Coach Rhule said that at some point, yeah, that's a decision that has to be made. If the turnover problem doesn't get fixed, you have to do something to fix it. And he said that.
Yep.
He said as much.
Yep. Let's go to Pierce, Nebraska. Mike, you're up next on Sports Highlight. Good evening.
Hey, good evening, guys. Just kind of follow up on the last phone call that I agree with what the last caller said, too, that, you have 7 turnovers. I really thought the handoff was on Jeff Sims that was fumbled also. But the passes that he's had, I mean, he stares down the receivers, and any defensive back with his salt's going to intercept those passes. And that just can't happen. And I don't know how much leeway you're going to give a guy to before you make a change. And you need a quarterback that's just going to manage the game, and we're not getting that. And I fully believe, Heinrich or Chubb or somebody's in there, you could easily be 2-0 because the rest of the football teams played well enough to get us there. I just don't understand that when you can have, single out Anthony Grant for one fumble and you have 6-7 miscues by Jeff Sims, and that's okay. I really have a hard time dealing with that. That's all I have to say. Thanks.
Mike, appreciate the phone call.
Yeah, I mean, you at some point, yeah. I mean, it's got to get fixed, and if you got to have a quarterback back there, because a couple of times it's just don't turn it over. The defense is playing well enough. Just don't give them the ball, and that was the same thing with Minnesota. When your defense is playing lights out like that, the bottom line, you don't have to go score 35 points a game.
In the drive of the punt.
Yeah. Run the ball, punt it, and that's better than giving them the football at the third. Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I think everybody does, and I think that's what's a little bit frustrating is that maybe a couple turnovers here or there, and we're looking at a different record right now.
No doubt. Hey, if problem gambling is burning up your money, there is a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. There's no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. Michael in Omaha, hang on. We'll get to your call after the break.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hit the road this summer in a brand new SUV from Woodhouse, offering 19 top-rated brands with the latest technology, functional cargo space, and safety features that will give you the confidence behind the wheel of every journey. Visit woodhouse.com to shop our new and pre-owned inventory, or visit one of our conveniently located dealerships to find the SUV for your summer adventures. Your trusted auto partner since 1975. This is Woodhouse.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
Every day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed a hungry planet. Partner with a team who knows the entire roadmap, equipped with local expertise and proven products. Get your seed recommendations with CVA's Go Early Seed Program. Register to win $7,000 off a seed box purchase when you visit CVAcoop.com. There's room at the table. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Back here on a Sports Alley on a Monday night, Brian from Omaha on our text line. I credit Coach Rhule for fixing our defense and special teams. They can beat anyone, but going from 6 scholarship quarterbacks this spring to not having anyone to replace a 4-turnover quarterback who can't get a snap is also on the coach. Growing a program long-term is not an excuse to have left Sims in after his second turnover. Drills will do nothing. It's in his DNA. That's, I think, a concern of a lot of us. Let's finish the hour with Michael up in Omaha. Good evening, Michael.
Hey, yes, good evening. I just wanted to make an observation and a couple comments. Before the game even started, I had a feeling that regardless how Nebraska played, we weren't going to win via the coach or the refs. Case in point, I don't know if anybody saw it. I've never heard anybody talk about it, but I think it's Nate Borkacher or Bo Ricker, I guess, depending on who you're talking to. But there was a play in the first quarter where Hunter shoved his hands in his face just because he got all agitated because he got blocked, and he ripped his helmet off. And it wasn't even a part of the play that they were replaying. It was just at the top corner of the screen, and nobody talked about it. So I'm just curious why that wasn't thrown. And yeah,
I remember the play. In fact, Nate had to come out of the game because his helmet came off. I kind of wondered that too. And then Nebraska gets one on Teddy Prohaska just a few minutes later because he pushes an arm and tells Hunter to get out of the bench area. So yeah, there was some inconsistency, but folks, we can't hang a hat on this one on refereeing. It's on Nebraska to take care of better care. And I'm the first guy to usually blame the officials.
Hunter was frustrated. There's no doubt about it. He was after that week he had the week before on offense, the defense had his number at least for the first half, that's for sure.
Jeremy in Texas with a good text. You can bench your running back when you have a stable of backs. Harder to do that with a quarterback. That's pretty accurate. Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There are a lot of rates out there, and it can be tough to find the right one. Well, let's make it easy. With FNBO's special offer CD of 5.5% APY for 7 or 17 months, you can earn more, save more, and do more. That's 5.5% annual percentage yield for 7 or 17 months at your nearest FNBO location with a minimum deposit of $500 and an FNBO Premier checking account. So stop on by and give your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank. FNBO, member FDIC.
Kids eat free in September at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee to celebrate National Family Meals Month. That's right, get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree. Kids 12 and under can choose from favorites like a burger and fries, grilled cheese, chicken tenders, and more. Bring the family together. Dine in at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee and get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree every day in September.
Dine in only. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Good evening. I'm Jake Schrantz, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Nebraska head football coach Matt Rhule spoke to the media after the Huskers' second loss of the season. One major point he talked about was what it takes as a coach of a smaller school to upset a Power 5 opponent like Nebraska, and what he is telling his team to avoid getting burned by Northern Illinois on Saturday.
The scariest thing in the world is a team or a man that has nothing to lose. And right now we're playing sometimes as a team like we have everything to lose because they want to win so badly. And afraid to lose is afraid to win. Okay, the owner of the last team that I worked for, that's one thing that David Tepper taught me. He tell me all the time, afraid to lose is afraid to win. And it's a message I'll carry forward in my life. You know.
We'll hear more from Coach Rhule in this hour of the show. The start time for next weekend's Huskers football game against Louisiana Tech was announced today, as the Huskers will open a 3-game homestand this weekend and then play next weekend at 2:30 Central Time. The game will be televised on Big Ten Network, as nearly 90,000 strong will be taking in the first few home regular season games of Matt Rhule as the head coach at Nebraska. In Nebraska volleyball news, the 4th-ranked Huskers will face off with Stanford tomorrow night on ESPN. It is sure to be an entertaining match as Big Red tries to hand the 5th-ranked Stanford Cardinal, led by Elia Rubin and Kendall Kipp, their second loss of the season after losing to Florida on August 29th. The Huskers haven't beaten Stanford since 2008 and are looking to end their 5-game losing streak against them tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can tune into that match and every match this season right here on the Huskers Radio Network. The Bills and the New York Jets are just about to start their Week 1 campaign of this NFL season. The regular season debut of Aaron Rodgers in New York Jets green will be on display tonight as his team takes on Josh Allen and the reigning AFC East champions in the Buffalo Bills in East Rutherford. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Up next, Hour 2 of Huskers Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
3 eligible left, 1 to the near side. Now it's an empty set as Ramir sprints left. Back to throw, Jeff, quarterback draw. He's at a 45, got room, 50, he might go, 40, down the sideline, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Nebraska!
Becca Williams, Spring Lake, Texas, serves back right. Nice pass, quick attack. Becca, Alec, Big Red, kaboom!
Kaliak Manis, back to throw on a play action. Looking to take a shot, throws it downfield. Pass is intercepted, I think. Picked off, Huskers intercept one at the 11-yard line. It's Omar Brown stepping in front of it. Back home to Minneapolis for Omar Brown, and he has a pick.
Liz Grigorski, former Wisconsin Badger, line drive, serve, good pass. Rodriguez the slide. Wow! Andy Jackson, kaboom! And that draws some oohs and ahs.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Did it just me, or did that last hour go
so fast? And we love it, but Cole and Jake back there have been put to work.
Well, they're sweating.
I mean,
back there.
They're getting their pay's worth today.
Yeah, about time. Cole hasn't done anything around here.
Hey, they're getting rewarded with high chews. Shout out Carla, who sent us high chews and Starburst.
Yes.
I had to hide the Starburst from Greg. They're all pink Starburst, but there's multiple, almost every flavor of high chews, and so we're sharing them with Jake and Cole back there.
Very good.
Eat all the green apple and grape. Save the rest for me.
I like the green apples. That's my favorite type.
I don't like the green apples.
402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. Coach Rhule did have his weekly press conference earlier today. It's time for us to give you a practice report.
The 1890 Initiative presents the Nebraska Football Practice Report.
We're talking about practice.
Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com.
And the head coach started off with kind of an injury update on how they came out of the game with CU.
Practice last night. Jeff was unable to practice with the ankle, so won't know more about him until probably tomorrow or later in the week. So Heinrich and Chuba obviously took the reps behind him. was really the one major injury. You know, Blaze came out of the game with a banged up shoulder, but we think, you know, we'll see tomorrow if Blaze can go. We expect him to be able to go. But that was it, injury-wise. Obviously, as a team, you know, the guys are disappointed. But I think that they understand that we have a chance to be a good team, and it starts this week for us coming back home. So we're excited to play at home, excited to play in front of the home fans, and I'm excited to watch them do that.
So then, quickly, a follow-up question to the coach was, well, how big is the gap between Jeff and the other quarterbacks? Here was his answer.
You know, I just leaned back on kind of what I said at the end of training camp, that I felt like we could win with Chuba, and I felt like we could win with Heinrich. They both can run, so we can maintain some of the things that we're doing quarterback run-wise. You know, I think some of the plays we've called have been quarterback draws, and, you know, maybe they've been seen as like a scramble, but we've called some quarterback draws that those guys can execute at a high level. So I think both those guys can run the offense. Obviously, right now, with where we're at right now, the offense isn't doing what we want it to do in general. So, you know, I think all of us, you know, as a team have to be better on offense to have a chance to win games. But I have a lot of confidence in both those guys, and I think they both bring unique skill sets to the table.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we've been saying, and it's. I'm glad that he's saying it. Bottom line, the offense has to be better. They got to figure out how to be better, and if Jeff Sims isn't available, then you got to be able to rely on those other quarterbacks. So if he can't go, which we heard him say, we'll see. You know, it might be a game time decision. It might be throughout the week. Then here's a great opportunity to give those other quarterbacks a chance to get into some rhythm and get some flow going with this offense. And who knows, maybe, you know, we had a texters text in about being at home, maybe just a little bit building some confidence. I'm not saying this is a cakewalk by any means. I know it's going to be a tough football game to win, as we heard Coach Rhule giving them a lot of credit, but being at home, getting some confidence going could be very well what this offense needs.
Well, and I think it was Dwayne last hour said, well, we don't have a guy that can run the same system. Well, Coach just said we do. Those guys are both athletic enough that they can keep the quarterback run game stuff in there with Heinrich or Chuba.
I think we saw a couple pretty good runs from Heinrich. And then he made the couple good throws to Fedoni. So, you know, I got a text from an NFL scout that said he was impressed with Heinrich. So I think he's got some talent. Obviously, this coaching staff has seen it. So with him, if it is his time to start, if it is him, if he does get a lot of opportunities here over these next couple of games, hopefully we can see him build some confidence and get rolling.
All right, the other side of Saturday was another really solid effort by the defense. I think they wore out in the fourth quarter, but, you know, 13 points at half, 13 points midway through the third quarter is all they'd given up. So the question to Coach today was, how good of a teacher is Tony White?
Wow. I think Tony's fantastic. He has this amazing gift. I'll be honest with you, like, that tempo was so fast. I was kind of hoping with some Big Ten refs that'd slow the tempo down a little bit, you know, and like we wouldn't let them run plays before the chains got set. And, you know, but it was fast, and that's credit to Sean Lewis. He's an excellent coach for them. But I've never seen like a defense be able to get into so many multiple looks versus that tempo, and that's Tony's teaching. That's the defensive staff. But Tony just stays so calm during the game. Like he doesn't get emotional. He just sees what's happening, and I think that you know what, I apologize, I don't have the number. You guys could probably. I think we had 20-some guys on defense play over 10 snaps. So, like, you know, again, as I told Reimer and those guys, like, I told you I wouldn't make you play 80 snaps every game. You know, like, we're playing 40. I think Reimer played 50. Some guys are playing 40. Nash played 40. It's because, like, I don't notice a difference because everyone's kind of playing at one standard because Tony does such a good job of teaching them and coaching them. I think he's an excellent, excellent, excellent coach.
I cannot say enough through 2 games about the cohesiveness and the communication with the defensive staff. And it starts with Tony White, but, you know, listening in with Terrence Knighton, and he said that, hey, we're going to keep rotating. We're going to keep rotating guys in. And the fact that they do that, and, you know, it's one thing to do it against Minnesota, but then they were doing it against, and that's what kept Colorado so on their heels the entire first half. The Evan Cooper, and they all teach. That's what has been great to hear, too. And then they also talk to guys about what they're seeing out there and then address it like, okay, then that's what we're going to do this here. It's just the communication, the cohesiveness, just the way that it's like a well-oiled machine already, and it just is so hard to I mean, you forget that they're coaching together for the first time. I know a few of them have, but I'm so impressed with all those defensive coaches. They are top notch. They're great teachers. They're great communicators, and they are all on the same page as a defensive staff.
All right, last clip from the coach. It'll be his first time to coach an actual game at Memorial Stadium. His thoughts about being able to do that.
It'll be amazing. It'll be amazing. I came here for a reason. I came here because I wanted to raise my kids here, as I've said. I came here because I believe in this place and the leadership. And I came here because I know what University of Nebraska means to college football. And we made a decision to build it the right way, in a way that would adequately represent the values of Nebraska. And so while we're not getting the result we want right now, doesn't mean I'm at all deterred. Whereas I know some people are like, man, it's been like, however many years of this. For me, it's 2 games. 2 games of what we're trying to build. And so I'm so excited to come home. And I'll just say this, I just sat, I was almost late. They were panicking because I was just sitting there kicking it with Luke Reimer for 30 minutes. The fact that he's bought into what we do on defense, without knowing if it would work or not, and having a lot of success in another defense, I hope people understand what he's done for me, what he's done, he's helped me make this transition. So, yeah, I absolutely love it here. Hope that we're here for a long time, and being there, my wife, my kids, it'll be special for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not ready to hit the panic button yet, and there's still a lot of pause, and I know that people get frustrated that we're not over here panicking and being negative Nancy's, but I'm not ready to panic yet. There's still a lot of good things. Got to work through some things, but, and those guys like Luke Reimer that is bought in, and they do believe. Give them a chance to right this ship, and they can get it going. There are some positive things that we've absolutely seen from this football team. So I know that people get mad at me, but I'm a positive Polly. I'm not a negative Nancy.
All right, there's some cuts from the head coach from earlier today's press conference to preview the upcoming game with Northern Illinois and reflect back on the Colorado game as well. Let's go to Raymond and Matt. Good evening, Matt. You're up on Sports Nightly.
Well, good evening, guys. Thank you very much for taking my call. I want to talk just briefly about what I believe is the DNA of Husker football. And the DNA is that we have a strong tradition, irregardless of the coaching staff. There is a DNA, there is a history of Husker football. And I think what our coaches really need to do is to look into that DNA and say, 2 games does not a season make. And I think nobody is probably more frustrated than Mr. Sims, our quarterback. And I would like to encourage Husker Nation, and I want to use a quick parallel. There is the Philadelphia Phillies, their baseball team, and the name of the player escapes me, but he was in a horrible, horrible slump. And the fan base decided that every time he got up to bat, they would give him a standing ovation. And you know what happened to that player is that he went from a 150 player to near 300, and now he is one of the top players in the major leagues. And I think we as Husker Nation need to get behind Jeff and let him know that we understand, we are with him, and we know that mistakes happen during a game, but I think we need to absolutely be positive with these young men because they are young men and they are impressionable. And I think we as the Husker fan base can not only support him, but also give encouragement to the staff. I'm greatly encouraged by what I see on defense. There are glimpses of the great DNA of the past, of the offense. But let's get behind the team. Let's be positive and let them know that, like I say, 2 games does not a season make.
Matt, well put. Thank you so much. Appreciate the phone call. And I think Husker Nation will be full-throated Saturday night in Memorial Stadium. They will support this football team and not giving up on it at all. Good stuff there. All right, hey, folks, buckle up. Put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Hey, we got the head basketball coach coming up next, Fred Hoiberg. They're back from their European vacation. They got the guys back on campus getting ready. We're not that far off from college basketball. We'll hear some hoop talk with the head coach next.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Greetings, human neighbor. Hey, Zendar. I brought you a little gift for suggesting Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It's a great game. Affirmative. Since the Pick 5 jackpot grows by $10,000 each time it is not won, your enthusiasm is logical. However, no gratuity is required. You sure? It's 10 gallons of wiper fluid. I have reconsidered. Would you care to help Marlex and I consume it? No, I'm good.
Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Day by Day is the new documentary about Tom Osborne and the Nebraska Cornhuskers' decade-long pursuit of a national championship. Featuring interviews with former players and coaches, as well as famous fans like Peyton and Archie Manning, Larry the Cable Guy, and numerous NCAA and NFL legends. Day by Day is the riveting, untold story of one of the most dominant, celebrated, and controversial football teams ever. Now available on demand.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Ann Gallagher with Campus News. UNL is the only Big Ten university in Nebraska, part of the only conference with an academic alliance. Being in the Big Ten means superior academics, unique student opportunities, better resources, and world-class research programs. With 72% of undergraduate students receiving scholarships or financial aid, UNL offers a Big Ten education at great value.
Discover the meticulously crafted and effortlessly iconic 2023 Cadillac lineup at Woodhouse Cadillac. Lease a 2023 Cadillac XT4 for $499 a month for 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. Visit us in-store at our newest location at 112th and Dodge in Omaha or online anytime at WoodhouseCadillac.com. With approved credit, must have a current Cadillac lease. Down payment $299.fee and first payment due at signing. Offer expires 7/31/23. See dealer for details.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. the store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Is your garbage disposal not disposing? You had one job. Drains backing up can cause a horrible smell in a home, damaged pipes, and so much more. Some signs that your garbage disposal may be going out include frequent clogs, abnormal and louder noises than normal, or water is leaking from the bottom, just to name a few. John Henry's is here to take care of all the pipes and drains in your home. Call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
There's a new kind of season ticket when you fly from the Lincoln Airport, the official airport of the Huskers. Now at LNK, choose from fast, affordable, non-stop flights to your favorite vacation spots. All from an airport that's relaxed and hassle-free. It's never been easier to get off the bench and enjoy an adventure with the whole family. Visit GoFlyLNK.com and book your trip today. Let's go.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Delighted to be joined tonight by the head basketball coach of the Cornhuskers, Fred Hoiberg. School underway, guys, going through some workouts. We heard about a big musical act that's going to be coming up at the end of the month, and times are good, I guess, right now.
It was a good summer. We had a great trip over to Spain. Those foreign trips are invaluable. You get so much practice time with your guys that you wouldn't normally get. So you get 10 practices with unlimited time, and we get a head start, and that's important when you have a lot of new faces. Unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of them just based on some injuries and guys coming back from surgeries and having two of our players playing on their national teams. Casey had an unbelievable summer. It was so much fun to follow him and see Japan, what he did to help them qualify for the Olympic Games, and to do it on his home turf. And, you know, those guys had an unbelievable following over there, and they beat a European team for the first time in the history of international basketball, and Casey was a huge part of that. They were down about 20, and that run that basically was sparked by Casey, and we've seen it a lot, especially that second half of last season, was incredible. And then to win their two games, basically the qualifiers. So one Asian team, one African team qualified based on record in the World Cup, and Japan had the best record of the Asian teams. And to see him in that first half, especially in their last game where he had 18 points on 6 of 6 shooting, again, will give him, I think, momentum. I think that's what gave him a lot of confidence last year, Greg, is the way that he performed on the international stage with his national team, and then to carry that over and even take another step in the right direction. And I think he had some confidence with how he finished the season with us last year. So it was great for him. And then Rink Mast, the other player from Holland, we had him for 6 practices, so he didn't have as long a summer with the national group as Casey did. So we were able to get him for the 6 practices. We worked it out with the Netherlands, the Federation in Holland, and we're able to get him for some really valuable practice time. And then to see him have some good success, especially in a couple of the friendly games against Poland. He had a 28-point game. The thing I love about Rink is he's got some of the same qualities as Derek, ability to handle the ball, a little bit bigger than Derek, 6'9", about 240, and he can really shoot the ball. That's where he's different than Derek. I don't think he handles it quite as well as Derek did. Derek was elite in that category, but he does some other things that will pull the big away from the basket with their spread offense, and a very good passer as well, and a very hard worker and one of the best rebounders in the portal.
So you didn't have those two, but you did get a chance to get Jawan on the floor some. How valuable was that, and how did he do?
Yeah, he was good, and we kept it for Jawan very restrictive. So he played about 10 minutes in the first game, all in the first half. Had him in there for 3 or 4 minute increments, got him out for 3 or 4, and then put him back in. Same thing with the second game. We played him a couple more minutes. And then that third game, he really sparked us in the second half. We went on, I think, an 18-0 run in the first couple minutes of the second half, and a lot of that was Jawan getting in passing lanes, getting out on the break, high-level finishes above the rim. So it was good to see him. That's important. When you come back from a major injury like Jawan had, to be able to go out there, shake off the rust, perform well, get confidence back, will be very good for him going into the fall.
And you got playing time for some guys, and they may not play nearly as much when the season begins, but it's valuable for them to get on the court, isn't it, to do that?
It was really good in a lot of ways, even though we didn't have Josiah, who I think people are going to fall in love with the effort and how hard he plays. A guy that can play both front court positions. Rink actually on his national team played the 3 spot, just because they've got a lot of size over there, but he's very versatile, and the same thing with Josiah. And, he and Rink have been working off each other. Josiah is pretty much cleared for everything now except for contact. So it's been good to get him out. He's been getting extra work in on the side as he has rehabbed his ankle after the surgery that he had in the offseason. But a high-level athlete, and, a guy that we would have liked to have on the floor over there, but he is picking things up very quickly. He's a very smart kid. No Josiah, no Sam. Sam had some knee pain. We just wanted to be smart with that. He essentially took 2 weeks where he didn't do anything, and he's back now with no restrictions, with no pain. So the plan worked for Sam over there as well. Matar had not signed with us he had just signed with us, but did not go on the trip. And then with Jerron Coleman picking him up. We actually did a Zoom with him at about midnight over in Spain. That's what worked for him with the time difference. And we feel very fortunate to have gotten Jerron as late in the game as we did. So, but to your point, Greg, the experience that Ramel Lloyd got, that Cale Jacobson got, and it kind of funny, the first game in Madrid, Cale started that game at the 5 and finished the game at the 1. So, yeah. But again, a great experience. He made some huge plays. Was really pleased with how he performed over there, especially in some big moments. He made a big play at the end of the game where he slipped, had a great read on a side out-of-bounds play, made a free throw to tie it, and then hit a huge 3 to help create some separation in the overtime period. And then Eli Rice was a kid that really performed well, led us in scoring when we were over there as a freshman, 6'8", very athletic, can shoot the ball. We'll still have a big learning curve, as all freshmen do, but I've really liked the tools that we have with Eli. And then Bryce Williams, who we got late. We got him in July, did not have him at all for the first month, for the first 4-week session in the summer school, but he had 28 in our first game, can score at all 3 levels, over a 40% three-point shooter a year ago at Charlotte. And then Jamarcus getting an opportunity to play strictly with the ball in his hands, which he's going to have to do that a lot for us this year, and showed growth. Every game he got better. When he had the ball in his hands, I felt very comfortable with him. And then CJ had a great 3 games over there for us as well. So it was good to get, as you said, a lot of experience for those guys. Our other walk-ons, Jeff Grace, Henry Burt, got some good experience over there as well. Those guys work incredibly hard as anybody on our team, helping our guys with scout team stuff. So it was great to see them get a chance to go out there, and both those guys did some nice things.
Talking basketball, the head coach with us, Fred Hoiberg, here on Sports Nightly. You always say recruiting never stops. Well, that was the case. You mentioned earlier that Jerron Boogie, is, I think a lot of people call him, you had a need at point guard. You were able to go find him because there are still some guys out there in that portal. What did you like about him? What attracted you to him? And what have you seen since you've had him on campus?
Yeah, the thing that I like most about Jerron, and he actually talked about this, is he wants to get guys shots and he wants to find guys. And I've seen an incredible feel, a very high IQ, and he has a way of putting that thing on a string and hitting our shooters in stride. So that's been one thing I've really liked about Jerron. The other thing is he's been a very good three-point shooter over the course of his career, and he's played at the highest level. He's played in the SEC, played for Missouri, had good experience there. And you look at his numbers last year at Ball State, we'd like to get him a little more efficient just with his overall percentages, but put up great numbers, for a very good coach in Mike Lewis. So, excited to get him on board, especially when we did. And that was an important pickup for us. We needed to add some depth in our backcourt.
All right. Update on Blaze. How's he doing?
Yeah, Blaze is he's struggling a little bit with his ankle. Putting a lot of work in his rehab. We slowed him down a little bit just because he had a little bit of continual pain. So right now he's in pretty much shutdown mode. He's doing some anti-gravity treadmill work and a lot of things in the weight room, doing a lot of bike work to keep his lungs in shape. But hopefully get him back on the court in about 3 weeks, I guess, is when he'll be back on the floor. And, you saw how much we missed him especially late when we played against the size. Unfortunate last game of the season, but he had some big games for us. Wisconsin, Maryland, where he and Derek played together. I think we can play he and Rink and maybe even Josiah at times together. So the other pickup that we got late was Matar Job, and big kid. I've not had an athlete like him. He is one of those guys almost looks down on the rim when he dunks it. He's got a long ways to go. He's raw in a lot of ways, but he is an absolute crazy athlete, can really run the floor. He's our fat. Anytime we run a sprint, he's coming across first. And, he's a guy that has a huge upside, 7'3" wingspan, measured almost 6'10" in shoes. So he's a kid that I think people are really going to like, and he's got a very bright future as a Husker.
All right, the 29th is the opening night with the musical act after you guys go out and probably do a little bit of a scrimmage. What's the plan between now and then for this team?
Yeah, so we've been doing a lot of teaching these first couple weeks since we've had them back. We gave them that first week off. I think it's important when you go on a foreign trip and you have the long summer, and a lot of those guys put a lot of load on their bodies just because of our injury situation. So, it's important to make sure we monitor that. Casey, when he comes back, he has had a grueling summer. So we're going to be very smart and meet with our sports scientists and figure out exactly how we need to get him and progress him slowly back into what we're doing. But the big thing right now, it's been a lot of teaching. We've been breaking them into stations, offensive and defensive stations. We'll start going more live next week. We get them for 4 hours a week right now. Weight room is very important at this time to build their bodies back, from the foreign trip, and just really get them ready for when we start officially on September 25th. But we're excited about that opening night. It's going to be great. It's the Michigan football weekend. We're going to get a lot of kids in town, a lot of recruits, to see how special this place is. But yeah, it's a great group again, Greg. One thing about last year, and I know I talked about this early with that team, I thought it would be a very easy team to root for just because of their makeup and how hard they played. And I think you saw that, how we battled through the adversity with the Bandamel and Gary injuries in January, and how that team really banded together, and guys that weren't playing a lot ended up having huge roles and had our most success at the end of that season, finishing with the best record in the Big Ten the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. So, you're going to have that same feel for this team, and, you'll see that as soon as you get out there. They talk. They don't have bad days. They come in there. They're very enthusiastic in practices. It's already developed a really good chemistry similar to what last year's team did. So I think, I give our coaches a lot of credit for going out there and getting the right types of players that fit the profile of what Nebraska fans want. And, you're going to see a team that's on the floor, first to floor. We talk about that a lot. You're going to see a team that's going to be the hardest playing team. And, again, if we can be the hardest playing, most together team, win or lose, you can look each other in the eye and be okay with the result. So, just got to keep going out there and taking steps in the right direction. We can't have bad days, and, get this thing to a point to where we put ourselves in a position to be playing in the postseason and hopefully taking the program to where it's never been. And I believe in this group. I love their makeup, how they're built, and hopefully we can get off to a great start this year.
Awesome. Appreciate the update. It's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah, great to see you, Greg. Thank you.
Fred Hoiberg with us here on Sports Sunday. Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. More of the show coming up next.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals and will share information with them to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. You can trust Innovation Refunds with your small business's ERC claim because of their SOC 2 Type 1 security compliance. Without this, how can you be sure a company can protect your information? It's not like here on the radio, where all you need to be secure is a censor button. My password to my bank account is Ty's cool password 1. Uh-oh. Luckily, Innovation Refunds is more reliable. Go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS to get started.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hoegemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trailtainment 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear. Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hoiberg here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty in town.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you on a Monday night. Thanks to the coach for coming in and talking about Husker basketball. By the way, tickets go on sale tomorrow for DDG, so I'm sure you'll be waiting in line over at the ticket office at like 9 in the morning to get your ticket tomorrow.
I was going to say, I'm going to try to beat you down there because I know you're really excited about it. But, yeah, tickets are on sale for opening night. That's a big night, and they have a lot of recruits that are going to be coming in. It's an important night for both programs, and so they do go on sale. Get those tickets and make sure you're there. Support the programs.
Yeah. That's the last Friday of the month. That's the Michigan weekend for football. A lot of sports are going to be bringing in athletes that weekend to get a feel for all of that's happening there. Want to give some kudos to Husker volleyball. They just shellacked Long Beach State the other night. 25-9 was the second set score. This team's really ratcheting it up. They are playing really good.
Yeah, there are stretches. This team looks unreal. And the thing is, talking with Jalen Reyes, or Coach Reyes leading into that game, that there was some cause for some concern because Coach Hildebrand is a great coach, has this team believing, and they play a different style that you can't always prepare for. And so both Creighton and Long Beach State, they were not taking lightly and knew, and then a lot of these players were coached by Coach, or recruited by Coach Hildebrand, so they know him, and so for them to come out and perform the way that they did, especially in stretches, which we had the coaches show on Thursday night with John Cook, but then to follow that up, it's always something that you watch for after you play a rival, how you respond to that, and they responded in a big way against another team that knocked off Texas, mind you. Let's not forget that either.
That's exactly right. I mean, a capable team that they played on Saturday night. Now, one of those kryptonite teams for Nebraska volleyball, the Stanford Cardinal tomorrow night. At this time, we'll have pregame going on. We'll have pregame at 7 tomorrow, first serve at 8. The Cardinal have won 5 in a row over the Cornhuskers. Nebraska traveled today to go out there. So this is a big match tomorrow night. Looking forward to that. We will, before that, have our Husker football show in hour number 1. Tight ends coach Josh Martin's going to be here tomorrow night for that. But Husker volleyball still fourth in the polls, as Jake told you in the ticker. Did not move anywhere after their wins last week.
I, by the way, did not get a chance to record the dig, if you're wondering, because they left today at noon.
Yeah.
So was not sure when they were leaving, and so we ended up pushing it back, which will be great. We'll be able to sit down with the coach. I think it'll be Kelly Hunter still. It'll still be Kelly Hunter on Wednesday. So we'll be able to chat with them following, hopefully, another big win for this program on Wednesday. And so if you do have questions that you want me to ask Kelly Hunter, get those in. But, yeah, if you're looking for the dig, or I know I'd said last week that we would record one Monday. We were scheduled to, but then the flight changed. I think got pushed up. So they left a little bit earlier, so we were not able to record one. They asked me if I wanted to figure something out, but I thought it'd be better to wait and
do it after
and get some reaction following the Stanford match.
Two non-conference matches left is all they have. Stanford tomorrow, then Kentucky at the Devaney Center Sunday night, and then it's off to conference play, which that's no piece of cake, as we know the Big Ten is such a good and dominant conference for volleyball, and only going to get tougher because UCLA is a perennial power. USC has dropped off some, but still pretty good. Oregon is a top 10 program, and Washington's been a Final Four program. So the league is only going to get better at that sport moving forward. It's incredible what this league's going to look like in 12 months.
I think that's only going to add to the growth of the sport, too, because now I think with the TV partners, you're going to see more exposure. Like, just look what Volleyball Day in Nebraska did and how much, I mean, what did we, over 10 million, right? What did Nick say about, there was millions.
I don't remember.
I mean,
impressions and all that type of thing. Yeah.
I think it was 50 million.
It was 50.
50 million. It was. 50 million people saw a piece of content from Volleyball Day in Nebraska. So 50 million people tuned in. And we've talked about how many texts, and so the more eyeballs that you get, the more growth of the sport, all of the above. It's a domino effect.
They're on ESPN tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I don't remember ESPN ever televising a women's regular season match. They do the tournament, the Final Four they've carried, but
Didn't they put the match with Kentucky on last year?
Or was that the Deuce? I was
Oh,
thinking.
you were saying ESPN.
Yeah, it's on the big ESPN, not the U. They do have quite a few matches on the U.
They probably, I think they just plan to put certain matches on, but then once they saw the eyeballs that Nebraska got for that match, it's, and then Stanford volleyball, they probably thought this is a good opportunity to get, because ultimately for them, it's probably about ratings, and this is a chance for them to have a lot of eyeballs on being what Nebraska brings in with their ratings.
Next Coach Cook show is Thursday night. So, again, we flipped football and volleyball this year from Tuesday to Thursdays. That's why the football show's tomorrow, volleyball show on Thursday night with head coach John Cook in here. Monday Night Football in New York. Jets, first game with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback. They're taking on the Buffalo Bills. He gets hurt on the game's fourth play. Does Aaron Rodgers. He's been carted off. I think it's an ankle injury. He was kind of walking on it, so it's not I don't think it's a broken ankle. But Aaron Rodgers, all the buildup, the offseason move, out of the game in the first series.
So the TV that has the game on is behind me. I look up, I watch him run out, which is a cool entrance, with 9/11 and all of that. And he's got the flag flashing. It was a really cool entrance. I look up, he's in. Then we have a segment. I look up, and he's not. And I'm like, what happened to Aaron Rodgers?
Jake's going, yeah, he's in the tent. Oh, no, now there's a cart there.
He said he got hit 3 times, pretty bad. So it doesn't sound like that. Jets O-line looks really good.
Wow. How about how bad a start to the football season for the New York teams? I mean, last night the Giants got beat 40-0 by the Cowboys. They just got roasted in their game last night. All right, when we come back, need to slip a break in. When we come back, gonna have everybody's weekend winner. Can't wait to hear some of these things. That's coming up next.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student-athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student-athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic. There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too. And we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hoiberg. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Final segment of our Monday show. We always say this for our weekend winners. What's on your list?
So we normally do winners and losers of the week, but we didn't get to do it on Friday. So I just want to slide one in here. Coach Booth from Creighton posted a photo of the field, of the football field inside Memorial, and said before the Creighton game, said, so I'm a little concerned that the court isn't set up for the match tonight in Nebraska. Are we playing somewhere else? I thought that was great. Well done there. But my weekend winner from yesterday is going to be Trey Palmer. His first career touchdown reception with the Buccaneers. They get a win. Baker Mayfield is a quarterback. So all around, feel-good story. I was so upset, though, that we couldn't watch that. That game wasn't on anywhere. It was, I tried to find a couple different places, but it was the Browns and the Bengals, which wasn't a great game.
And then that was on CBS Fox at that window because I was watching.
Steelers, I think they had the Steelers.
They had the Steelers and the Niners.
Yeah, which I'm like, I don't want to one of those. But anyways, kudos to Trey Palmer. Yep.
Good start to his career. Fantastic. Love that. Jake, do you have a weekend winner for us?
I do, yeah. We've got Kennedy Orr finally getting some action this season with the Husker volleyball team. I thought she did a really good job kind of adjusting her role, obviously coming in on this roster as one of the top setters out of high school, but with kind of the ascension of Bergen Riley this season, I thought she did a great job kind of filling in as a serving sub and really good defensive player in the back row for Big Red.
Good for her. You know, she's not playing because Bergen has kind of grabbed a hold of that setter position, but try to find a way to help your team, and it sounds like Kennedy's doing that.
Yeah, and whatever role you can do, and they had needed some help on the service line. You know, that was going into the week. They wanted to. That was one of the goals, is to be better serving, and so I know that Coach Cook was felt way better about that after the Creighton match. And so, hey, any way you can, absolutely good winner, Jake.
Good one. I'm shocked that you didn't name the Texas Longhorns your winner.
Right? Yeah.
They were really good.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to Tuscaloosa and they controlled that football game. Hey, trust me, I am not a fan of Texas at all, but you tip your cap a little bit. That was a heck of a win on the road for them.
And we all sat here and said, nope, no way. It's Alabama's year, but they...
Not all of us picked Alabama.
Oh, yeah, the students. Good for the students.
Yeah. My winner is Coco Gauff, the American, won the U.S. Open over the weekend. Terrific match, three-setter. She's not even 20 years old yet, and she's now got a U.S. Open title by her name. Terrific. She's a really wonderful young lady. Easy to root for. Really happy that she was victorious. As I mentioned earlier in the show, I still have Spectrum. They've been in the battle with ESPN, and so I didn't get to watch the last week of the U.S. Open. They did settle today. They're back on now, but I missed watching a lot of it.
What a nightmare. I'm sure fans are so frustrated missing college football. And then
U.S. Open tennis.
U.S. Open. But they got on the air for Monday Night Football.
They're back tonight. Yeah, they are back tonight.
Couldn't miss that.
So, yeah, good stuff there. All right, tomorrow night, half a show. It's the football show with Josh Martin, Husker tight ends coach. But at 7, we're handing the baton to JB and Lauren. They'll have pregame from Palo Alto as the Huskers play Stanford. We're back with a full show on Wednesday, volleyball show Thursday, full show Friday, party show Friday.
Party show Friday before the home opener. Should be fun.
Weather looks good Saturday night.
That's good.
Temperature upper 70s for the high on Saturday. Should be really beautiful at the stadium. Cannot wait to be, we have 5 of the next 6 at home.
It's crazy.
That'll be good.
Yeah. Finally. Like finally we're home.
Yeah. About time, right? Have yourself a great night. Thanks to Jake.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For new Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip. Works for me.
New Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid mineral with protein or Sweet Pro block supplements for space feeding, while also stretching your forages up to 25% better, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blauhorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
If unwanted hair is putting you in a prickly situation, give laser hair removal a try. Milan Laser Hair Removal delivers smooth, hair-free skin with permanent results for men and women of all skin tones. So there's no more unwanted stubble, razor burn, or ingrown hairs. Visit any of Milan Laser's 7 Nebraska locations to get 1 free treatment. Ready to never shave again? Call 833-NO-RAZOR or visit MilanLaser.com to book your free treatment and consultation. That's MilanLaser.com.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.